Hello everybody, it's Maikito. First of all, I want to apologize for not posting. I know it's been about a week, but I don't know if you can see my calendar back there, but I just finished working 7 straight, and honestly, one, I was just tired, physically, mentally. Soccer season ended, so it's not like there was any soccer. I know I said I was going to do other sports, like NBA, WNBA, MLB, but I was just like physically and mentally exhausted from other things as well that I don't really want to get into. But I finished my 7 day shift. I had time today. I thought I would go ahead and actually look at some of the NBA ones. Get a heads up on those. The game is in 2 days. One day if you watch this video in the morning. I did watch the last game, and there were a couple things that did catch my eye. For those that are like I guess somewhat new, before I did this YouTube, in Jordan's Discord, aka the final round, there was a time for about a month or so. I can't remember how long it was, where I did used to post NBA picks in there as well with soccer ones before I did this channel, and was actually pretty consistent in those. I stopped posting them just because I knew more about soccer, but I do watch NBA and like used to make slips on those and like player prompts and stuff like that. So I thought I'd make that for the NBA Finals. I watched the first game. There were some things that caught my eye. Also, there's gonna be the Euros in Europe and the Copa America in the North and South America, which is a tournament. It's gonna be about a month and a half long total with both tournaments, and that starts in about a week and a half. So there's gonna be games daily. So I'm for sure gonna be posting daily or every other day for sure when that tournament starts in about a week and a half. So I want to give you guys a heads up on that. There will be soccer, so I will for sure be posting those. But in the meantime, that week and a half, I'll be doing NBA finals, and I'll do a couple WNBA props as well. Just wanted to address some of that. Again, sorry for not posting, but I did find some NBA ones that I did like, so I'll get straight into that. My first prop, it is Luka Doncic higher than 31.5 points. He had 30 last game. I know some people took his over 31.5 in game one, and he had 30 and he got subbed out with 5 minutes to go, and it was a blowout. So I understand why they were down by like 20 points at that point. So I understand why they took him out. But I don't think, even if Dallas do lose his next game, I expect this to be close. I don't think it'll be as much of a blowout. He actually played them twice. He played the Celtics twice earlier this season. Once on January 22nd, where he had 33, and once on March 1st, where he had 37 points. So he went over in both of the games against them earlier in the season, and last game he only missed by 2. And the reason why I like this prop, when I was watching the game the other night, I noticed that they pretty much didn't really double team Luka. They'd really just guard him one on one, and what they would do was pretty much like, if you notice, he had 1 assist, and there was only 1 assist when he averaged just like 8 or 9. And the reason for that is because they were cutting the passing lanes and really more guarding the other passers the other, like the corners and stuff like that, the shooters for Dallas, so that Luka couldn't get his teammates involved. They were pretty much just letting Luka. I don't know if you guys watched Golden State Rockets back when Harden used to be there. The Golden State did the same thing, where they pretty much let Harden shoot and do whatever he wanted to do, let him tire himself out, not let him involve his teammates, and just make himself tired. Let him score as much as he wants, and just not let his teammates involved, which is pretty much exactly what Boston is doing to Luka. They're letting him play one on one. Tatum guard him and try to do what he can against him, while guarding the passing lanes and other teammates and letting them shoot. So I expect it to be the same game they won game one. I expect them to do the same thing. Luka's gonna need to shoot in anyways if they want to win. And now that they play really more one on one against them, I expect him to do the same thing. And like I said, I don't expect this game to be this much of a blowout like last time. So he would have easily cleared this if he would have played even just one more minute, but he didn't. But I expect him to play more minutes. So I would take this to like 32.5, 33.5, because he's pushing it just a little bit. But I do like Luka Doncic to go higher than 31.5 points. My one Boston Celtics player that I like is Jrue Holiday under 12.5 points. Last game he had 12 points, so he went under with 9 field goal attempts. And the reason why I like this prop is because they pretty much didn't move it since last game, and now there's gonna be more Porzingis. He came back from injury last game. He didn't play as much minutes as obviously he would because he's still easing into injury. But now he's gonna be playing more minutes. And even last game where he had those, he went under this mark. When he played without Porzingis, he averaged 13.3 points on almost 11 field goal attempts. So he went over this mark on average without him. But with him, he averaged 12 on 9.6 field goal attempts. So it's, even though it's just one shot, when it comes to a player that's when the line's 12.5, one shot is a big difference. Just because Jrue Holiday is for the most part a pretty efficient shooter, and with this game, he's played 2 games with Porzingis against Dallas, and in both of those games, last game where he had 12 points on 9 field goal attempts, and the one earlier in the season, he had 11 points with only 6 field goal attempts, and he actually went 3 for 3 on the 3-point line. And so I don't expect him to be that efficient next game either. So if on both games that he played with Porzingis against Dallas, he shoots less. He's not going to be taking as many shots, and if he takes 9 shots, I'll take that under 12.5 any day, because he's not really going to be relied on to take shots as much as he was even before, just because now he's like the pretty much the fourth, fifth option with scoring that have Jason Tatum, Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, even Derek White is more as a scorer than Jrue Holiday. So he's already going to be he's really just going to be have to focus on his defense against Dallas. And the one game where he played Dallas, where Porzingis was not there, he took 13 shots and had 17 points. So the only game where he went over against Dallas was when Porzingis was not there. But again, now he is going to be there. He's only going to be shooting when needed to. He's just going to focus on playing defense. So like Jrue Holiday, lower than 12.5 points. And the last prop that I did like on the Dallas side is PJ Washington, higher than 17.5 points and rebounds. But without counting this last game, he's played him twice this season, and he went over in both of those. On the first game, he had 22 points and rebounds with 14 points and 8 rebounds. And the other game, he had 24 with 17 points and 7 rebounds. And if you actually want to refer back, I'm actually getting this little part from Jordan, which I did agree. I looked at the how the game played out because he took his rebounds last game. And I was looking at the game, and I agree with him, so I want to give him credit for at least this little part here. He gets good rebound chances. The reason why is because whenever Celtics, their center, whether it's Porzingis, Tatum, when they play small, Horford, whatever, they shoot 3, so they're more on the corners, which makes whoever the center is for Dallas, whether it's Gafford or Lively, to not give them too much space, which means that when they when Celtics do shoot, they need somebody to collect those rebounds. And because the center is close to whether it's Porzingis, Tatum on the 3-point line, it gives more opportunities for PJ Washington to get those, which is why I like the rebounds part of it. And I also like the points part of it, because obviously Boston is going to be focusing more on Luka and Kyrie. Luka, like I mentioned before, they're just pretty much guarding him one-on-one, not letting him pass the ball, while Kyrie is pretty much the opposite. They're not really letting him give him too much space. They're double teaming him, making him pass to his teammates. And I mentioned that because there's a reason why Luka didn't have any assists. Some of those come from PJ Washington. He had no threes last game at all. He only shot 3 and he missed all 3. And even with that, he still hit his whatever his points line would have been, 10.5, 11.5. He had 14 points last game, and that's because he was being aggressive. He was going in the paint, collecting rebounds, putting it back up, collecting fouls. So if they want any chance of winning, they're going to need to rely on him as the third option to go out there and be aggressive. And even if he's still aggressive and he could get 1 or 2 3-pointers in, I like this spot a lot, just because I feel like he's confident that he'll get his rebounds. But I like the points and rebounds combined, just in case he does one more than the other, it'll make up for it. And overall in the season, he's a 31% 3-point shooter. So like I said, if he takes those 4 or 5, earlier in the season he played him, he had 9 3-pointers and made, I believe, 4 or 5 of them. So as long as he gets those shots up, he's gonna collect the rebounds. So I just like just combining these. He went over against them in both games last season or earlier this season and once in last game. So I just like this spot for PJ Washington. I would take this up to 18.5. I like PJ Washington to go higher than 17.5 points or rebounds. I want to give a shout out to my partner Underdog Fantasy. You can use code Maikito, link to the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $100. And then I also have my Cashapp linked in the description and my Fliff. If you guys are ever feeling generous, I want to give back. I would really appreciate it. Nothing's ever required, especially now that I haven't posted in like a week. I understand, obviously, but it's just there in case you guys are ever feeling generous. Again, I must try to start posting more often. Again, like I said, I was just taking a little break, just physically and mentally. Like I said, this next week and a half, NBA, WNBA, MLB, whatever I can find. I'm still not gonna force any picks. If I don't find anything I like, I'm not gonna post it because I'm not gonna be giving bad picks. But other than that, I hope everybody has a good night. Week and a half, we'll have soccer again, daily, every other day, just like before. Tournament soccer, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there to watch all the games, make notes, and everything. So I hope everybody has a good night, and we can all cash out next time.